Hi, my name is Lance Goodell, member of the PTR, which is an organization for tennis teaching pros. Today we're here at the Racket Doctor in Glendale, one of the largest tennis stores around, and we're going to be talking today about how to pick out a racket for you. Whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or an advanced player, there is a perfect racket for you. Okay, so now we've moved over to where the rackets are, and as you can see, there's an awful lot of frames on the wall right now. It can actually be very overwhelming, especially if you're a first-time buyer of a racket. If you're a beginner, you look at this, you don't know what you're going to get. So I want to try to make it easier for you. I try to follow the main brands, the players that are, the top players out there. The four companies that I look at are Wilson, Prince, Babolat, and Head. Head being the racket that I use, so that's my first choice. So these are the three frames that are on the market that I like. We've got the Prince frame, we've got the Babolat frame, and we have the Wilson frame. And this is the one that Federer was using in the Men's US Open Finals the other day. And the racket of my choice is the Head racket. This is the racket that Andy Murray was using in the finals. And a lot of top players really like this racket, and this is the racket of my choice. So when we talk about picking out a racket, one of the most critical things to learn how to do is to pick out the right size grip. There's a couple of schools of thought about how to pick out the right grip. One school of thought is that you measure from the center of your palm, where the main crease is, from here to the very tip of your middle finger. And that usually is going to run somewhere between 4 inches and 4 5/8 inches long. And that kind of gives you a roundabout idea of what size grip you should be using. My personal preference is, rather than do that, I like to put the racket in my hand with a proper forehand grip. Remember, you do that by establishing the shaking hands position. The knuckle of the forefinger is flush with the right hand side of the handle, and then you turn around and you look at the fingers and you see if the cuticle of the middle finger and the thumb are basically in a straight line. If you have a little bit of an overlap, that's okay, but if it overlaps too much, then you need to think about going to a different grip size. If you can't reach that point, if you don't have an overlap, that means the grip is too big for you. And then you have to think about maybe going to a 4 3/8. So now that we've established the right way to pick out the grip, now we want to talk about weighing and balancing the frame.